Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chess and welcome back to They Are Survival. This is Big Update Review Part 4, I believe, and we will still going to discuss about NPC trade still. Previous part we talk about how to efficiently get currency, right? Basically, like doing the trade from the NPC trade, specifically for the buyers. But today we will talk specifically about which stuff to buy, not to sell anymore, right? Which is the trader over here. As for the trade list, we already covered that in the previous video, so better to check that out. Um, and yeah, uh, we will also be talking about like basically how to use your currency like efficiently as well. Like there will be some sorts of stuff that you will think about because I'm going to be like straightforward. This buyer over here will give you a lot of currency, right, which is 16,000. However, in reality, you can't really buy everything over here. Like you can't really buy all of this stuff from that 16,000 iron nuts in one NPC, right? So therefore we need to prioritize stuff, which one to buy, which one to be, which one will be important like right now or not as important as right now, right? So yeah, the first thing first, I think we can just start, right, by saying that it depends if you are new players or old players. If you are kinda already playing this game for a while now, I think for trading or getting stuff from trader, I would say that um, the first one that is important is getting the new items that are only available from NPC or by looting, right? That are not craftable as well. Like you can really found the new items over here. So that will comes to the list. Let's take a look at Chelyabinsk, right? Because my base is here. Um, like blowtorch, right? Blowtorch, you cannot really craft this. You must buy this, and then if it runs out, you can actually refill. However, I believe someone already um, like I don't know, like the players basically, like the community already says that buying new blowtorch is actually much more efficient than refilling one that's already out of fuel. The reason why is because to refill this blowtorch over here, unfortunately there it needs a lot of what is it? A lot of stuff basically. Let's see if I can show you one. I'm not sure if I actually have one that are um you know already out. I don't think so. I guess we can try, right? Let's actually craft a metal plate over here. This one. So blowtorch is essential because you need to make metal plate. If you want to basically craft this metal plate, you will need blowtorch, right? And then to take that metal plate into something else, basically. Okay, so there you go. Ran out blowtorch. Let's take a look at the empty blowtorch right over here. There you go. To fill up, you will need 2000 gasoline, 90 oils, one screw, one spring, and one rubber part. And like, I mean, that's still not as expensive, right? However, the thing is that it requires stuff like it basically requires stuff like springs, rubber parts, which is not essentially the thing that you can get easily. Apart from the spring, broken weapons, you can get broken weapons by fighting the bandits. Then you can disassemble their weapons basically to get springs with percent chance as well. And then rubber parts, you cannot really craft this. Maybe some bandits actually carry this, but most of the time you can only get this from looting like the garage or something like that. And other than that, you will have to buy this from the NPC, right, the trader over here. So yeah, that's a lot of things, right? And that's buying new one is actually 1200, and it's already filled to the brim basically. So this one 2000, right? Let's probably take a look. 2000, it will be like this. That's 50, right? I mean 60. And then the next one we need rubber parts, right? That's 800 already, so that's expensive, right? And then this one spring, oh yeah, that's basically it. Rubber part and spring already exceeds 1200, right? And then buying one already only costs you 1200. So just by look of these costs over here, buying new blowtorch is economically cheaper as well as economically efficient, because you don't have to get all these materials, and then you don't have to waste your time getting this stuff and then refilling, right? You can just buy the new one, which is again, this is probably, I don't know if the developers kinda uh intentionally do it this. Maybe they didn't actually count, or maybe they did, but it's kind of weird, right? Because buying new is cheaper than refilling. That sounds weird, right? Although obviously you can get springs from disassembling broken weapons, but we're not here talking about that. We're here talking about the value in itself, like just by pure value, right? And then we also need screws as well, like one of these. That's another 180. And then I believe there is another one which I forgot already what it is. Oh, oil. Okay, oil is 90, right? If I remember correctly. So yeah, that's 60, and then 120, 300, 780, and 1550 basically. That's 350 more expensive than getting blowtorch. So there you go. I guess buying blowtorch is indeed, economically speaking, much more cheaper than refilling the blowtorch. So yeah, blowtorch is one of the top priority in my opinion. For one, it is new. For two, buying new ones are cheaper than refilling. And then the second one will be this one over here, the washing powder. As for now, I believe like most of the NPC actually have this available, so that you can buy this from anywhere. However, from the past update, the old update, uh, when the old updates kicked in, like there are new items as well, like spices, cheese, milk, right, etc., etc., eggs as well. Um, those items were firstly introduced in most NPC as well. Like you can find milk, egg, cheese, and what did I say again? And other stuff, right? Quite easily in almost every NPC. But now, and spices, right? That's right. But now let's take a look. These items, those items are not here anymore. This one has eggs, obviously. And then the spices, if I remember correctly, I think the spices are only available in Novo and Krasno. I might be wrong, but yeah, there you go. And then for the milk, I think like milk and cheese you can find in Svert, and then uh, I kind of forgot like Urkuts as well, I think. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that because of this update, those previous new items are now kind of changed, right? Like it's not really available everywhere now. So we can kind of use that as well to extrapolate to into the future. When another big updates come in, basically these kinds of stuff that are new over here will potentially be separated as well and will not be available in most NPCs. You know what I mean? Like maybe Chelyabinsk now will only have sandpaper, and then the washing powder will be in Svert, and then like the tarp will be in Magneto or something like that, right? Like it will be separated. So yeah, yeah, basically new items, right? Which is four of these. The tarp is expensive and it's currently non-tradable, but I believe at some point in the future it will be tradable, right? Yeah, 800, and then the rubber is the second expensive, which is half of the tarp. Um, it requires 400, and then after that there is this washing powder, which is basically one fifth of the tarp, and then this one, which is 1/10 of the tarp, right? The sandpaper over here. But yeah, these are all the items I think that are new anyway. Maybe there is something else. Oh, also, yeah, there is this one, copper, which is I think the most expensive one from this. You can also buy sausage if you want, but sausage is actually craftable. You can actually craft this, so there's no need actually to buy this from the NPC. For copper, you can actually craft copper from old coins, or disassemble like stuff to get copper as well. Actually, let me show you over here. Um, I have myself some of these altcoins, and just like that, 20 altcoins will give you 1.5 copper essentially. However, somehow the community values altcoins as one alternative of currency, so you might not want to spend this into spend these altcoins into copper, honestly, because um you might as well just sell the old coins, right? And let people collect this. So yeah, like community speaking, crafting coppers from old coins is actually a loss. Um, yeah, because you can actually just sell this to other players, and people are actually willing to buy this for high price, basically. And then there's another alternative as well to get this copper, which is by disassembling stuff. If I remember correctly, yeah, like this one. There is this fridge, will give you 1 to 2 copper or 1.5. But again, the same thing with the other stuff. All these collectibles over here are basically valuable for collectors. Like if you play this online, right? Since we are in online, so we will talk about this mostly for online mode. For offline mode, yeah, sure, you can just disassemble this, no one cares, right? Because you play by yourself, right? But in online, people actually value this, so you might not want to disassemble the fridge into copper. um, so that comes to the question, right? How do you get copper then? I believe you can actually loot some of coppers, but I think the main way to get copper is again just like other stuff, which is buying from NPC, right? But mind you, this is actually quite expensive, which is 1,000 nuts each. If you grab all 50, it will cost you 50,000 basically, which is a lot of currency, right? You can only get 16,000. Again, don't forget that you can only get 16,000 per refresh, and the cost to get 50 is actually a lot, right? 50,000. So you're kind of at a loss there, right? So you need to prioritize stuff as well. Um, but yeah, the main thing is, I think for now anyway, obviously the new items, right? Because I believe in the future updates, these items will be even more difficult to obtain because it will not be available in most NPCs anymore. So yeah, you want all this stuff, right? As well as the blowtorch. Um, and then there's also other stuff as well, like this one, springs, weapon parts, rubber parts. I would say those are stuff that are more like secondary or tertiary. After this, we'll explain about that. But yeah, this one over here, and let's see again. Sausage again. It is new, but you can craft this or cook this easily. Quite easily, I mean, not really easy because it requires 15 salted meat or minced meat, and then 2 fat and 2 salt, right, to get yourself 3 sausage. But still, you can kind of craft this, so there's no need to worry about buying those from NPC, right? Better to save your currency for something else. And then the next one, I think that's it, right? I don't think there's anything else like that are, I would say, like crazy thing. I don't think so. um I think there is actually like the engines, if I remember correctly. uh the NPC also sell those stuff, but that's for new players basically. If you remember, yeah, like this one, the big electric engine. I don't know, I'm not sure about diesel engine and gasoline engine, but I know for sure big electric engine is sold. So yeah. Also, this one gives you more than two coppers. This is like 2 plus 2.5. It's about 4.5 at average, which is not bad, honestly. You can buy this. I think there's actually NPC that sells this, if I remember correctly, right? In the previous video, because I kind of saw this image over here, the icon for that. And then electrical parts as well. I'm not sure if that's sellable in trader, but yeah. Anyway, I guess there's that for the new items. Again, like this washing powder, I have actually quite some of that. The most that I have right now is sandpaper, which is over here. Yeah, this one, 11,000. I already have this 11,000 plus 1,000 in my inventory, 12,000. The reason why is because metal plate is actually quite useful. Actually, you will need this for a lot of crafting, especially for the materials for pillars as well. I believe so. Let's see, pillars, right? Oh yeah, by the way, pillars, last time we had it at 19%, and then I used the remaining 5% to go back to the base, right? So now it's sitting in at 14%. Yeah, like iron plate, I don't know what it's called again, metal plate. I think you needed to make armor plate as well as capacitor as well. We'll have to check that out in the part 4 of Pillars Repair, right? But yeah, that's why I have a lot of sandpaper. But I think it's already enough. I think my next goal will be washing powder. I might as well sell this to other players as well. Like see the situation, right? If I need something or not. And then washing powder as well. I'm starting to like basically save this, and then the tarp, which is the most expensive, right, out of the four, and then the rubber. Do I have the rubber in my inventory? I think I have some, although not many, right? Yeah, I only have less than 400 because I keep using that to repair my polar armor over here because it requires 10 rubber every time I repair. So yeah, there you go. Those are the main four new items, I would say, which is this one: tarp, rubber, washing powder, and sandpaper. And then there's other stuff like secondary, I would say, which is copper and blowtorch as well. Well, blowtorch is probably still the primary, but yeah, there you go. This one over here, and then this one over here. That's like the first tier, I would say. The second one will be, it actually depends on your play style. What do you do in game that makes you interest about the game, right? Do you like hunting or something like that? If so, then you might want to save your currency to buy like for instance weapon repairs, right? Like this one: machine oil, weapon parts, aluminum, steel, titanium alloy as well, which you can get by mining. And then you can mine if you have the mining permit, right? And then you buy the mining permit using the currency. So there you go. If you like hunting, then weapon repairs will be great. And then the rifle ammo as well, like basically ammunition, right? Maybe you want to craft them by yourself, maybe you want to get help from the specialist as well. Like this, right? It requires currency over here. You get yourself some handful amount of ammos over there. Again, like there are many types of weapons, right? You can get assault rifle ammo or shotgun round as well as I think RPG as well, I believe. Like this one, the rockets, basically. Yeah, this one, PG7 ammunition. You can craft these from specialist as well. So again, depending on your play style. If you like hunting, then that is the next. If you like farming, for instance, for whatever reason you like, just I'm just gonna chill with my farm, with my garden, greenhouse, basically. So for that, then you will need something, right? You will need to build the greenhouse. Then to build the greenhouse, you will need this one over here, bricks, which apparently only available in Rostov. I just know this because someone actually mentioned this. Well, I can just visit my previous video basically, and so can you, to see the trade list, right? But someone actually mentioned that you can only get bricks from Rostov, the NPC that sells, and that's actually very bad because it is far away in the left over here, right, to the west. And because bricks are actually very heavy materials, you can only carry some, like few of them every time, right? But now since it's far away, then um, brick is a little bit something right now. Yeah, I guess. And then cement as well. I think you can buy this as well from NPC Trade and find this in the loot. And then this one, iron pipe, you need to craft this, I think. Iron as well, craft them. And then glue or insulating tape, nails, and then yeah, and so on, right? Maybe you want to save currency for that, specifically for bricks and cements. And then not only that, because after you build the greenhouse, you will have to build it, right? And then after that, you will have to use like, let's say I want to this one, I want to plant apples, right? It will require saltpeter, and for now at this point, saltpeter can only be obtained by looting or NPC trade. So there you go, saltpeter. And then clean water, you want to clean water, right? So from dirty water you can filter, or from ice as well, and that will require um, pots or the water filter, right? And then shovel as well, which you craft. And then to craft this, you will need like maybe the steel shovel. You will need steel at least, like, and lots of stuff as well, like iron, aluminum, and so on and so on, right? As well as the fuel for the smelter. And then the coal, you can actually just um, crafted, I think, from this one over here with the charcoal pile, which requires a lot of firewood, but you can get a lot of coals as well as a result. Um, and yeah, that's if you like to do greenhouse, right? Let's actually take a look in the trader. Does this one have? Yeah, this one has. So we need 2,500, right? So that will be 2,500. It will be like this. And that already costs you 10,000 currency, right? Which is iron nuts in this case. And that's only one greenhouse, right? Not only one greenhouse, but only one farm, like one cycle of farming basically. If you like farming, then um, for one you will have multiple greenhouses, and for two you will also do multiple amount of farming, right? You farm, you harvest, and then you replant again, you reharvest again, and then you replant again, right? And that just will cost you a lot of currency, right? So there you go, if you like farming. And then there is also other stuff as well, right? Like maybe you are a typical the one that likes AFK and crafting, right? Because some of this crafting actually takes a long time. So you want to play the game still, but you don't want to wait for the crafting, right? So you kind of basically just craft this huge amount, and you leave it, right? You leave it for few minutes, right? And yeah, like for instance, you like crafting this one, the forged item, like nails, wires, pipes, cans, barrels, and then you can sell this to other players as well, potentially, right? um, and then this one as well, the steel tools, which is actually the most basic items that every players will need, right? Because you need steel tools to craft everything, to repair everything, and then axe to butcher, as well as knife, and then crowbar and hacksaw. You need this to open some of the doors during loot, as well as the shovel as well. Like sometimes the entrance to building is buried with rubbles, and you need to use shovel as well. And then pot, this is the most basic item. You need almost everything. You will need pot, like getting clean water, cooking, as well as crafting as well. You will need some of this stuff. And then sewing needle if you want to repair your armor basically, right? So yeah, if you like again AFK or just craft this high-end stuff, you need a lot of currency basically, because you need to get springs, you need to get screws, because hunting bandits, eventually you will need a lot of bandits to kill, right? And that becomes inefficient. So you might want to get some of this as well from the NPC trader, right? And then the glue, to make glue you need like water, bones, and then rags, right? And then to get iron as well, you need to craft iron first, as well as the steel. To craft iron you will need scraps and coal. Scraps you can get these from NPC, I think, or just disassembling vehicles. And to craft this, you also need smelter, right? And we know smelter will need fuel as well as other stuff that is used to make smelter in the first place, right? And all of those stuff will require currency as well. Um, and then you want to craft steel as well, and then steel requires iron, which we just explained, and then aluminum, disassembling vehicle parts. You can disassemble broken cars in cities, or you can just buy the vehicle parts from the NPC as well, right? And then lead, you can I think you can smelt broken car battery as well as buying from NPC. And again, the fuel for the smelter as well. There is a lot of stuff into it, right? And again, depends on what's your play style basically. Do you like hunting? Do you like crafting advanced items and then sell it to others? Or do you like I don't do you like farming potentially, and so on and so on, right? There's so many classifications over here. Yeah, so that's the second, right? And the third one is probably the next part of this video, in which we will actually talk about specialist, this one over here, because you can actually produce stuff from here as well, like ammo. You can actually craft this from the specialist instead of um, crafting it by yourself, like in this weapon section. Yeah, this one, right? There are some changes, like as you can see over here, you need rifle shell, right? However, if you go to the specialist, you actually don't need the shell, you just need this stuff, the gunpowder and lead, glue and scraps, right? You don't need the rifle shell. So there's that, basically that's the difference, right? um, and then you also need primers, right? And then primers, if you craft by yourself, you will need copper. Actually, to get 100 primers you need one copper, as well as washing powder as well. So yeah, there you go. For specialist, then there's a little bit mix and match over here, right? Which is what we're going to discuss. How to prioritize if you want to craft stuff by yourself or ask help from the specialist, as well as the repair itself, right? Like, because as you can see over here, you can actually repair your weapons, repair your armors, repair your vehicles by the specialist, right? And this is actually pure currency. Uh, you don't need any materials, and this person over here will just basically heal your stuff, right? Your tools, vehicles, armors, weapons, whatsoever, right? um, so yeah, then there comes to the question, which one is more efficient? Is it you know repairing by yourself manually, like this, gathering these items, and then like potentially crafting these items as well, doing extra work to use this, or just simply going to the specialist and say, hey, can you repair my stuff quickly, I will pay you, right? So yeah, there you go, that's the question, right? There are some, again, these kinds of stuff are kind of divided into two as well. There are people that likes to just leave to the currency specialists to repair them stuff, and there's also other people that likes to repair by themselves, right? Like me, for example, I like to repair this by myself, and I also sometimes just want it to be quick and just rely on specialists to repair for myself, right? However, I will be explaining about my thought process, right? First, let's take a look at manual repair. So manual repair obviously will require a lot of stuff, right? And the thing that we know about blowtorch over here, this is like real example, right? This one, if you fuel this from no fuel, you will basically lose stuff, right? Because it's actually expensive, right? Like as we saw previously, um, buying new blowtorch is actually more economical than refueling it up, right? Because again, like the spring and rubbers already takes more than 1200, and for 1200 you can already buy a new one with full ready to go basically, right? So yeah, there you go. And then for this one, let's take a look again. Armor, right? In this case, polar armor. There's this stuff, right? You need rubbers, which you need to buy from NPC. You need this one as well. You need steel, which maybe you can craft, as well as the tanned leather, and then the cloth, and then for the wire and needle, then you can forge them by yourself, right? As well as the toolkit, and then the welder, maybe you want to refill this with your own what is it called again, electrodes, right? Electrodes, and then filling these generators with gasoline, right? And those stuff you can get from NPC, right? So yeah, there you go. That's from the perspective of manual, right? It will take extra works for manually, but the good thing about that is that which is the most important thing, if you use this, then it will require your currency, right? And if you do this, let's actually take a look at my Pelas repairs over here. Although I'm going to re-explain this in the Pela series as well. Basically, if you repair like these Pelas over here, let's see, right? My Pelas is at about 14%, right? And just you can see over here, it requires 258,000 iron nuts. That's actually a lot of nuts, right? Um, so what I can say about this is that since it requires a lot of stuff, it means that you need to save a lot of currencies as well, right? And the bad thing about that is it means that you will allocate most of your currency into this specific item to repair, and then you will have nothing else to buy from the trader, right? So in that case, it's quite unbalanced, right? So that's like the flaw of repairing stuff through specialist. You can repair stuff easily, quickly. You don't need the extra work. It's instantly will get repaired, fully repaired. Like let's take a look at polar armor. It's at 91%, right? I'm going to repair that like right now to full 100. Let's see over here. It took me 3700 just like that. It's as simple as that, and it's at already at 100% again, right? So yeah, the thing is again like the flaw, because I spent 3600, it means basically I use my currency mainly for that, and I cannot buy this other stuff as well, right? Because at this point my currency is already out, right? And just like that. And if we take a look at the Pelas for this case as well, you can see over here that took 250,000. Although you can get this amount quite easily because there are five pays or six, I mean, that gives you iron nuts, and five of them are close by, except for Surgut, right? No one likes Surgut because it's too far away. The five main cities that has aeronauts, you can actually get 80,000 per refresh at least. So that will be you can, one day you can refresh four times. So three times already give you 240,000, right? So in this case you just basically need one day, right, to repair this stuff, which is again, it's not taking long, right? Like I said as well, it's instant. You don't need extra work, you just need to save up your currency, right? However, again, because that takes a lot of money or currency, then most certainly you will not be able to buy other stuff from those NPCs, right? So how do I, kind of make this efficient? Well, this is what I'm doing. So we have three main currencies, right? black rubbles, iron nuts, and ration cards. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to divide our priority based on this currency. So for instance, I use iron nuts mainly to buy the mining permit over here, and then buying like the sandpaper and the new items, right? Well, the new items I kind of prioritize everything for that, but for this one, iron nuts, I use this for mining permit, and then for the ration card, I use this actually um, to get cheese, eggs, and milk as well over here. So yeah, I use and then spices as well. So there are four items, right? Which is spices. I don't think I have. Do I have one? Yeah, over here, this one in my inventory. This is the spices. That's one, and then the second one is cheese. Third one is eggs, and then the fourth one will be milk, right? So that's like my main four items that I obtain from ration card. There's that as well as the stuff, the new items as well, like the sandpaper, washing powder, tarp, and rubber, right? I I got them as well using the ration card and iron nuts and rubbers. But yeah, mainly for that, for the four food item, which is spices, cheese, milk, and eggs. And then for iron nuts, I use this for mining permit. Um, as well as like like basically like materials, like sometimes I also buy some sulfur and saltpeter as well, and then in this case salt, and yeah, like stuff that I used to craft like ammunition, right? Because that's like what they do basically, and then gas mask filter as well. So there you go, that's my prioritize. As for black rubbles, what do I do with black rubbles then? Black rubbles are for fuel, basically, for me anyway. As you can see over here, diesel, right? How do I get diesel? I go to is Havsk over here. This one actually sells diesel, right? So I use my black rubble to get the fuel, like either gasoline or diesel, but mainly diesel because I use truck, and then as well as the new items as well, just like the other currency, which is the this one over here, which is this copper. There's also washing powder, and then tarp, rubber, and sandpaper, right? So yeah, those are like the main items right now that I'm prioritizing across all currencies. But other than that, this one is for fuel, this one is for mining permit and materials as well, and then this one is for the food items. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. That's how I divide my, use my prioritize. So I use this according to their currency basically, so that I don't really waste stuff, like so that I don't waste my iron nuts and then leave this ration card at like more than 1 million or something like that, right? While having this at zero, as well as the black rubbers, right? So kind of spread out a little bit with your currency basically. I also currently saving for ration card because I need that to craft the thing that I need to repair my pillars over here, which is this one, titanium alloy. Not that is here. The armor plate I need to craft at the blue faction, right? Armor plate and capacitor, this actually will require a lot of currency to make these kinds of stuff. So that's why I'm kinda saving up, but also using to buy copper at this moment. At the moment, I'm actually hoarding, or not really hoarding, but more like saving copper basically. Maybe I want to sell this for other players as well, just to help them, right? To get the copper easier, or just to use myself as well. But that's like my main priority now. The first one being the new items, the second one being what I do, which I'm kind of do kind of everything to be honest, because I make this video, right? So I need to basically cover most of the stuffs anyway, right? And I do hunting basically at this point because I use the pairs and pearls basically to sell those to get the currencies in the first place, right? And then I also do the one to do other stuff as well, like having the mining permit to get titanium alloy, and then to make other video as well, and then as well as for the pillars repair as well. So yeah, that's the second one, and then the third one being I prioritize my stuff based on currency. I use black rubble for fuel, and the new items I use iron nuts for materials and new items as well, and then I use ration cards for the food items, food ingredients, as well as new items. So why do I need food items? I kind of haven't explained, right? So the reason why is because actually I kind of mentioned this in the previous part about food combo in the first part, in which I will use Uka over here, training too, and then with pizza, right? As you can see over here in pizza, you actually need eggs, right? And then you need cheese as well. And to make cheese, either you buy cheese or you use milk combined with eggs and will give you cheese basically. So yeah, that's why I need those, as well as the spices as well, as you can see, right? I kind of missed that. Yeah, this one, the spices, right? To get pizza, so that I can get tactics, and I need this because I want to use pizza and Uka so that I can consistently defeat the bandit base. Again, this will also be covered in separate video, and the reason why I want to do that is because I want to have another video or more multiple actually about this one, the new items over here, which is large safe, which you can get from the bandit base, as well as all these craft crates over here, which again will be in separate video as well. That's a lot of contents, right? So yeah, for you to come basically. That's why I'm kind of saving but also using all the stuff, right? um and ration card for the food items basically. But yeah, I think that'll be it for today's I guess big update review part 4. Part 1 we talk about new crafting and new cooking recipe. Part 2 we talk about the what is it again, I kind of forgot already. Part 3 we talk about all NPC and the trade, and how to efficiently sell stuff to get currency, right? Oh yeah, part 2 we talk about the new quests, as well as how to get free caps still, right? But yeah, and now this one is the part 4, which is which stuff to prioritize to buy from the trader, as well as which one is more efficient, repairing in specialist or repairing by yourself, right? And my answer to that is it depends actually. If you do you want extra work, which or do you need instantly, right? Which is a little bit more expensive. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, that will be this part 4, which we already covered. Next one we'll do part 5, which will actually talk about bandit base, how to defeat bandit base, because there are actually quite some over here that are I already marked most of them, that is nearby Celia to Irkutsk over here. So there is 8, I believe. There is one over here, this one, the flag, and then 2 over here, third one over here, and then the fourth one over here, fifth one over here, sixth one after Novo, seventh one before Krasno, and then the eighth one will be before Irkutsk. Although there is another one over here, which is, I believe it's, what is it called again? A Bakan, or I kind of forgot what the city is called. There's actually another bandit base over here, but somehow I didn't encounter any fight over there. Um, so yeah, I kind of forgot already, right? But these white ones over here, these are the ones that constantly refreshing itself every 3 months in game, or so what the community says. So yeah, we'll have to take a look at this in the next part, I guess. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been part 4 of Big Update Review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you again very soon, few days from now, in the next part of Day Art Survival. And I will see you again very, very soon, and see ya.